I am in my Giants Live top, and that can only mean one thing. This weekend is the Giants Live World Tour Finals. This lineup has changed a lot from the original lineup.
It's unrecognisable compared to the original lineup, but it's still a great mix of athletes doing an interesting mix of events too, I think.
It is indeed, and no Atlas stones. But we will get into the events later on. Let's very quickly go through who our athletes are for this weekend's competition.
So first up, we have the current Scotland strongest man, Lewis Jack.
And also from Scotland, the two-time Scotland strongest man, Andy Black.
Coming over from Ireland is the Limerick Lion, Paro Dwyer.
From the United States, Tyler Cotton.
He's just taken his first international win at the Arnold UK. Coming back from Canada is Mitch Hooper.
From Estonia, Rauno Heinla.
A regular winner at the Strongman Champions League, Ivers Schmaxtelis.
He broke the nickel stone world record last year. He's coming back again from America, Kevin Ferris.
Looking for his second Giants Live win is Pavlo Nekonechny, aka Wide Pavlo.
Another UK athlete who's had a great year so far, Paul Smith.
Also returning to Giants Live from Ukraine is Pavlo Kordiaka, aka Handsome Pavlo.
So he's actually had some notice for this one, coming all the way from Australia, Eddie Williams.
And last but never least, the miracle man himself, Mark Felix.
So the events for this one, we'll go through them. There is no Atlas stones, which I mentioned earlier. So they're finishing with the power stairs this time. I'm interested to see if they're going to have 5 or 4 implements, because they decided 5 would have been too hard at Europe's. But I think with the athletes that we've got, no Atlas stones to finish, I think it would be good to really push them and see what they can do. And there is some great power stairs athletes in this lineup. The other events that we have, so we're going to start with the dumbbell press, 100 kilos for reps. The nickel stones, we've got last year, we had Kevin Ferris breaking the world record on this. Andy Black is extremely good at this event as well.
Former record holder on it.
He is indeed. Mitch Hooper just broke the record on the Arnold stones just last weekend. Mark Felix is really good at these type of events. I'm interested to watch Pavlo Kordiaka and see how he does on this. Could be a good event for him, might not be. He's not got the best grip sometimes, has a few issues with his wrist that we've seen in the past.
Oh, he'll hook it. He'll be fine, Luzzie. He'll be fine.
And Paul Smith. Paul Smith, and I had a chat with Paul Smith at the Arnolds about these type of stones, and he was like secure that his grip was good enough to go. And I was like, I reckon you should do a hook grip. And I think afterwards he was like, yeah, I should have done hook grip. And I think coming with that experience, it could be good for Paul as well. Then we move on to the deadlift reps, axle deadlift that they use at Giants Live competitions. A number of very good deadlifters in this lineup: Mitch Hooper, Pavlo Nekonechny, Mark Felix. But for me, it's going to be a battle for second place. There is Rauno Heinla turning up in this competition. He's a deadlifting machine, and he doesn't like losing the deadlifts. He's in good form as well. And then we have the carry and drag, an anchor into a chain drag, about being fast, explosive, moving as quickly as you can. Now, you'd normally look at someone like a Kevin Ferris on this type of event, but how damn fast was Nekonechny in the Cardiff show?
Yes. Pavlo Kordiaka is an incredibly fast athlete as well. Ivers is very good at these types of moving events. Rauno is very good at a pull like this.
Rauno wasn't in shape last time he did this. He was ill at Europe, did not do well on this event. But yeah, he is better at these type of events. Also, Par looks pretty solid at the moment. He performed really well at the Arnolds.
He did.
And I think the whole mix of events are good for Par.
Yeah.
So as always, we have to do our predictions, Auntie Liz. Everyone likes to play along. You guys always play along. Let us know who you think is going to be right out of us two. Let us know who you think will be winning this event. We're going to go for a top 5 because we like to make it harder.
You like to make it harder. I'm happy with a top 3, but I'll humour you with a top 5.
Well, I think the top 5 does make it harder. This is it makes it a little bit more interesting. For me, I think Mitch Hooper and Pavlo Nekonechny are the 2 favourites.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think they have the least weaknesses.
Yeah.
Out of all the athletes, I think Pavlo Kordiaka could do extremely well. just feel the deadlift might cost him a few points.
Agree.
Rauno and Ivers both have very good events.
Yes.
Ivers is in shape as well.
Yeah,
Earlier on in the year, he wasn't in the best of shape, but the last couple of months, he's really started to look good. He started winning a number of shows that he's done.
And he's got some great events in this competition. His power stairs are unbelievable. He's decent at dumbbell. I think he'll do well on the nickel stones. I think he'll do well on the carry into the drag. I see Ivers doing well here. I'm excited to see.
So if we go through the 5 events, who do you see winning the dumbbell press, for instance?
Do you know what? I think Pavlo Kordiaka could win that based on his training. Now, we looked to check his competition results for this event, and there is none. Is that right? You couldn't find anything?
I couldn't find anything on the dumbbell.
But that means nothing. That just means he's not had the opportunity to shine. He knows this is a good event. I can't wait to see him do this.
In training, he's looked really good on the dumbbell. We know that Mitch is getting better at the dumbbell all the time. Par's very solid on the dumbbell. Ivers is solid on the dumbbell.
Paul Smith's all right on the dumbbell
Paul Smith,
as well.
very good on dumbbell as well. So this could be an interesting one. There's no Novikov where you go, that guy's going to win it.
No.
I'm really happy with these events for Mitch. I think he's got great consistency across the board. I think Pavlo Nekonechny proved how good he was in Cardiff.
He'll be good,
but so far it's only one show that he's done well in.
He'll do well at this.
I think he should as well, but we still got to see if he's got that consistency to back up what he did in Cardiff.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's one good show from Pavlo. If he comes in and dominates this show, then people are really going to be talking about him because he was incredibly good there.
He was.
But these are slightly different events, so let's see how he does on this one. Now, nickel stones, you know Kevin is going to come in wanting to break his record. He got
so good at these types of events.
Did you see his grip video recently, holding on to 230 odd kilos for like 30 seconds? 230 kilos in each hand.
Wow.
And holding it for 30 seconds. That guy's grip is phenomenal.
It's crazy. And he's so good at moving with weight as well. He's just good, and I can't wait to see Mitch take on this challenge, having seen him do, because it will be it will give us an idea of which is more difficult, I think, because he did 15 meters without a drop. So with the nickel stones, they are allowed a drop and then they have to re-pick it up within 10 seconds. However, no one does much after that drop. I think the blood must come back into their thumbs and then suddenly
once
can't
you
do
go
anything.
down, you're never going that much further. But the nickel stones move slightly different to the Arnold stones. The Arnold stones are actually fixed, whereas the nickel stones is a ring attached to a ring. So there's a lot more movement in this. Kevin has the experience on it. Andy Black has good experience as well. I do expect Mitch to score good points on it. Mark Felix could get good points on this one as well.
Rauno thinks he'll do better on this because he was training on that same type of setup with the Cerberus rings he was using. So, but who knows? Because Rauno, his tactic for the Arnold stones kind of went against the advice that was like, I'll run, because the grip is the limiting factor of him. He's thought, right, I'll just get as far as I can, as quick as I can.
It's one of those events where you really can't run.
No.
Believe me, I've done it before, and I like to go quick on Farmer's Walk. But with the stones, they just pull you so awkwardly out of position, so you cannot go fast with them.
No.
You can get like a few steps, but then they start pulling you around. You lose that balance. It's not the tactic to go for.
He did come fourth, though, at the Arnolds on that event.
He did, which was very, very good. But there was a lot of guys around the same mark. And I think the fact that you've got Andy in there, you've got Kevin in there, that could be an issue. I think he can do well. I just think there's a few guys in this show that are better at this type of event, that have experience on this type of event.
And the overall standard of this event is a higher standard athlete, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. So the deadlift. We have some amazing deadlifts in there. You've got the Masters world record holder. He's pulled the biggest deadlift ever in a full competition, Rauno. And he's just, the last few shows he's done, his deadlifts look phenomenal. He's
looked just untouchable on it, really. Like, there are guys that can push him harder, but I think he'll still outlift
the
them.
question mark is whether it's worth trying to beat him for the overall competition. Like, for instance, Mitch in the Arnolds, we knew that Mitch could have done a couple more reps, but then that starts to take away your whole energy levels for the whole show. And when you know Rauno is going to push to win the deadlift, is it worth that extra point for the whole competition? So that's kind of the tactic. I think it's more important for Mitch and Pavlo, who comes on top out of those two. I think Rauno will win the deadlift. That's my personal thoughts. He's got good experience on all types of deadlifts, so I'm going to pick Rauno to win it. I think Pavlo and Mitch will be very close to each other. I mean, Andy Black's a very solid deadlifter. Mark Felix has done well in the past.
I think
Pa is pretty solid on this setup.
This is going to be an event that's going to hurt the overall standings of Pavlo Cordiaca, but also Kevin Ferris possibly. He did this event in the competition last year. He got 2 reps, which I think was good for about 9th place.
Yeah, 2 reps is just not quite enough. You really need to be getting 4 minimum.
Yes.
I think to
stay
get
in the mix.
Decent points.
Yeah.
5, you start really putting yourself up there.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, you're kind of fighting for the big points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 reps, he needs to do better than that. Paul Smith has been steadily improving his deadlift. I think the axle is probably not going to be his favourite.
No.
Type of deadlift. He's really good at fighting. If he gets it over those knees, he just keeps working and working.
Yeah.
But could cost Paul a few points on this particular setup. Carry and drag is another hard one to predict as well.
It's really interesting, the carry and drag. It's one of those, they can make a mistake, anything can happen, but we saw Pavlo Nekonechny do this one in 2021 in Manchester, made a lot of mistakes. He was falling over, he was just going crazy, wasn't he? But I'm sure he will have corrected that for this time around.
Well, in Cardiff, his moving was very, very good.
It was good.
We know Pavlo Cordiaca is quick at these type of events. I expect Mitch to be quick on this one. Could be an exciting event to watch and really set up the positions going into the final event, which is the power stairs. What do you think about the power stairs?
I think Ivers wins the power stairs.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think Ivers wins the power stairs. Come on, Ivers. Don't let me down.
He's got great history in power stairs. Did
does.
very well at Europe's Strongest Man. He's looking in better shape right now. I think this is going to be a good one for Mitch.
Good one for Pavlo Cordiaca as well, I think.
He's got that height.
Yeah.
Has he got the back strength to kind of keep up with those guys? It's a weird one. Sometimes great deadlifters aren't necessarily good at this.
No.
And sometimes people that aren't great deadlifters are.
Well, the trick is not to deadlift it. If you look at the best guys like Ivers, they don't deadlift it.
It's kind of like almost like a shrug.
Yeah. And Pavlo came second to Ivers at Europe's Strongest Man this year on this event.
Could be a good event for both of them. So it's going to be an interesting show. Do you want me to give you my top 5?
Sure. I think our top 5s are going to be very similar.
Okay, I'm going for Mitch Hooper to win this one. I think he's going to take his first Giants Live. His confidence is growing. He's looking great in training. Obviously, working with him, I'm going to be supporting him, but he's genuinely looking good as well. You know what I'm like. If I don't think he's got a chance, I say that. But right now, he's looking in great form. And I think these events, there's no weakness there.
No.
I don't see a weakness.
I think he wins the most events as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do. But I think even if he doesn't win the most events, he's going to be consistently, scoring big points. So for me, I'm going to pick Mitch Hooper as my winner. I'm going to go for Pavlo Nekonechny taking second place. I do believe if Pavlo comes in like he did in Cardiff, Mitch is going to have to fight. He really
time.
is. The question is, we've seen him a number of times now. There's been a lot of mistakes. Cardiff, he got it right. If he can get it right in this one, he's going to be a threat. Can he back up what he did in Cardiff? That's the real question. Then I think it could be a real battle. I'm actually going to go against what you think, and I'm going to put Ivers in third place.
Interesting.
I'm going to put Pavlo Cordiaca in fourth, and I think Rauno is going to be in fifth. I think the dumbbell Rauno might drop a few points.
Yeah.
I think the nickel stones he'll do okay at, but maybe not quite as good as maybe he thinks he will. Deadlift, I think he can win. Carry and drag is one of those. He could be pretty good. It just
think
depends.
He'd be solid there and solid on the.
It depends how much the deadlift takes out of him as well. And he says he's good at power stairs, so we'll see.
And he's got the setup. Right, Rauno's so funny. He'll have things made to the same specifications, and he just won't use it. But then a competition comes around, and he's like, I can use my power stairs.
Yeah, so that's my top 5. I think guys like Kevin, guys like Mark, guys like Andy, guys like Paul, they could all squeeze into that top 5 as well. But I'm going to stick with the 5 that I've said. Okay.
I have the same top 5, slightly different order.
Okay.
So Mitch Hooper first.
Yep.
Same reasons. Wide Pavlo second. Handsome
Pavlo
Pavlo.
Nekonechny.
Wide Pavlo. Handsome Pavlo third.
Pavlo Cordiaca.
People know. And then fourth I'll have Ivers. Fifth I'll have Rauno.
Okay, so it's just Ivers
and Hans and Pavlo. That are the other way around, yeah.
Okay, interesting. As always, guys, comment below and let us know your thoughts and your predictions. Tell everyone where they can see this if they cannot make the show.
Okay, so as always, this will be streamed live on Facebook. We will leave a link in the description below, or you can watch it by subscribing to www.officialstrongman.com.
Thank you, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We will be back, obviously, with lots of behind-the-scenes action from the weekend's event. Take care. Make sure you tune into the show if you can't be there live, and we'll speak to you soon.